that? We're live. Good. You're all there? Great butterflies. Good morning. Hello. Okay, great. All right. So, hello again if you are just on. And hello for the first time. Good morning. If you were not, this is the Get Ready for the Day routine. This is the intermediate one where we do kind of a head to toe. Get yourself warmed up a little more weight, a little more life to face your day. And today we're going to do a little bit more stretching because we had a request for that. And we're going to be doing a little bit of dance technique because the music device somewhere else. So we're going to have to imagine the music, but I've got some exercises for us to work on to improve our dance technique. So let's start with our usual way, with gluing our feet to the ground. And I want you to feel like really your feet they're stuck to the ground, they're even grabbing the ground, but with straight toes, you can feel the tips of your toes, the middle of your toes, the balls of your feet, your arches, the outside of your foot, and your heels, all stuck to the ground, glued, magnetized, like gravity's got you really stuck there. And breathing in through your nose, and breathing out through your mouth, breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. We're going to focus a little more on stretching today, but we're still going to give ourselves a good warm-up so we don't stretch cold. That's not really a good thing to do. So loosening your knees. This is really knee bend and coming back up. We're just getting our knees moving because they've probably been asleep and not moving too much this morning. If you just gotten up, loosen your knees and straighten. Loosen your knees and straighten. Loosen your knees and straightening. Listen your knees and straightening. And we're going to be doing some wrist rolls in, wrist rolls out, wrist rolls in, wrist rolls out, and opening and closing your fingers, line them up tight, and then opening like a fan. And as you're doing this, bring them slowly up. And slowly down. Bring to the front, still opening and closing. And back down again. A little shake. And we're going to move one digit at a time. So thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky. Thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb, pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb. Now, and taking one hand, you're going to stretch the fingers back, so you feel stretch there. The other hand. And stretching downwards. Downwards. And come back up, lower arms. And now leaving your arms about 90 degrees. And I want to feel that my arms are kind of like limp noodles. And the only thing that's going to be working is the elbow. So it's just my elbow that's bringing my arms up and down. I want to feel the rest of my arm relaxing. And dropping your arms to the side. And now we're going to go up and down like we do, like our full up and down to the side and to the front. But I want you to feel like your elbows are picking up your arms. And that's the first thing that's moving. So your elbows coming up, arms, elbows, rest of your arms, and elbows and rest of your arms. And same thing to the front. You just feel like elbows, rest of your arms, up, this for our dance technique later. Elbows rest your arms. And coming back up. And bring your arms up. We're going to start by stretching just our upper body. So this isn't a full side stretch. This is just, you're trying to feel a pull by sinking this shoulder down. And as you come up, I want you to feel a lengthening here. And then go to the other side. And lengthening as you come up. Let's do that again. So just your upper body. Lengthening as you come up. Body. And lengthening as you come up. Okay, so if you have a wall nearby, this is full exercise, so I'm going to stand next to it and put my palm or even the side of my hand on, depending on your mobility. So I'm going to have an imaginary wall here. I have my hand on it, here or here. And I'm going to start to rotate outwards, but my hand is going to stay in place. So you're feeling a stretch in your shoulder. And you're going to rotate back into it. And you're going to do that again, rotating outwards. Rotating back inwards. Now let's lower it a little bit so we get a different area. This one may not be as bendy as the other one, rotating outwards. Rotating back. Moving it up on the wall. Sorry, I can't see your comments from here. I see some parts. And rotating outwards. And rotating back to it. And shaking back. Bringing your elbow over your head. And relax that arm. And then do the same thing, but you're going to point your arm to the back. And push it to the back. And then we're going to switch arms. So this arm is going to go against the wall. My wall is imaginary today. I'm standing like this to the side. And I'm going to start to rotate outwards from the wall. Shoulder stretch. And coming back in. And rotating back out. And coming back in. And press it a little bit, place it a little bit lower. And rotate outwards. And feel different stretch each time you move position of the arm. And moving back in. Putting up a little higher. And rotating outwards. And rotating back inwards. Just out. Bring it behind you. And we're pressing it off. So it's going that direction. Towards your head or behind your head. And then we're going to change, so it's going backwards. So we are, let's get our whole upper body done. So I'm going to bring in a chair, but you can also use a wall depending on your current bendiness. So if it's a wall, you can just put your palms against it. If it's a chair, you want to go a little lower, you can do that. Why don't I just use my pretend wall? Because with a chair, you have to go really, really go down. We haven't warmed up our lower body yet. So you can be putting your both palms against the wall. And we're going to move down with a flat back until we feel a stretch in our shoulders. So I want to feel like you're stretching back here. Keep your arms straight and press down there. Feeling that? Shoulder stretch again. And come up again. Shake it out. We're going to do one more. You're keeping your body straight, and so it's like you want to push your head and your whole body lower than your arms. Keeping your arms in place, so you're going to keep them straight. Lower your body down. And press them into those shoulders. And coming back up. Nice little shake. And use a chair for this one, but you can also use a wall if you don't want to bend down that much. Well, I just want to show this, so we're going to bend our elbows. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to press down. So our elbows are kind of going behind our ears in that direction. If you have something a little higher than this, would be good. It would be a countertop maybe. A high back chair. And going back up again. As you feel that gives a different stretch there, but that will really help. It's going to be straightening out your posture. So it's a very, very good exercise to do. So speaking of posture, rolling your shoulders back and chest up to the sky. And rolling back, chest up to the sky. It flies when you think about it during the day. Pull the shoulders back and give yourself a nice good posture, and you already feel a little bit better. And your body's always finding things that are good for it, so they'll come forward, but every time you think about it, roll them back, and slowly it will become a habit. All right, clear flies. Let's do our sides and then move to our fronts. So again, we're going to be doing little side stretch, come up, little side stretch, come up. There's a very small one. And trying to go a little bit lower each time, straightening up the middle. And this time we're going to take the arm, and if you do one leg, you can also hang on for this one. And we're going to try and feel along here, so don't let your arm sag and go a little distance here and feel like you're pulling, maybe you're holding onto a rope that's pulling you out and down. And come back up again. And bending the other leg, and you want a wide arc so you're feeling the stretching. It's like somebody has a rope that's stretching your arm out. And way over. And come back up again. All right, there flies. Let's do some of our medium knee bends. So we're gonna engage our legs, send our knees right over our toes. And then to come back up, we're going to press into the ground, like we're pushing the earth away from us. Engage your legs, bending your legs, knees going over your toes. And try not to bend forward, try and keep upright. Press into the ground with your whole foot. Engage your legs, knees going over your toes. Pressing the ground away from you. And last one, engage your legs, tighten them up. Knees going over your toes and pressing the ground away from you. And you can loosen your knees a little bit here. We're going to be doing like a standing crunch, so it's like you've got a cramp. And when you straighten up, I want you to feel like your body is getting longer. So it's like, this part here is like that. One, and lengthening. Two, lengthening. Three, and four, and five, and six, and seven, and eight, and nine, and 10, and 11, and lengthening last one, 12. Good job. All right. So we're going to be leaning back and just kind of relaxing this muscle here. We're just working. And if you want to grab onto something, you can. If you want to do it in the air, so welcome. If you want a chair or wall, just for balance, we're shifting our weight forward onto one leg, feeling the stretch in the back. legs today. And coming back up. And the first leg again. Up. And the second leg. And we'll switch back to that first leg. And the weight is kind of in the middle, but a little bit more of our back leg because when we sink down, we want to feel a different stretch in that calf, but lower down. And coming up, the leg, stretching the calf out, back. So one more calf stretch I want to do, but my wall is in the wrong direction. I'm trying to do it with the chair. So, but a wall is much better. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your toes and you're going to put them on the wall. Your back leg is bent, your weight is there. And then you're going to lean forward and come closer to the wall and feel a stretch in there. Doesn't work so well with the chair. But I'll have my back to you. If I do the wall here, you won't see it there. So I'm going to do that a few times. So our Achilles are something that they get pretty tight because they do a lot of work, they carry a lot of burdens. So all these kind of stretches, they're hitting different areas. Other foot, I'm going to place our toes a little higher up on the wall, and then kind of straighten up towards it. And since I don't have a wall, this isn't working so well, but just if you can get that position, that's very good. There's another one I like, but it requires a stair, so we're going to skip that today. But if you can do this every so often, also when you have just a spare moment, stretch out those Achilles however you can, because they do tend to ball up, get very tight, and that's when we get injuries. So, okay, so grabbing onto your wall, your chair, your counter. We're going to be moving our feet up and down. So one and then the other, we're going to go to our two-toe or our half point dancer. Back and forth, just first warming them up. And I'm going to move on to one leg, lift the other up, circling around. Circling around the other direction. And let's do one more each direction. So I had to rush out on you yesterday. Today I'm being very long-winded. So placing it on the ground and fanning out your toes like you did your fingers. Punching them up, fanning your toes out. Punching toes, punching. Now switching directions. I'm just going to stay here. Circling in with the other foot, and circling out, circling in, and circling out. Foot on the ground, squinching up your toes, fanning them out, squinching and fanning, and squinching, fanning, squinching, fanning. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a little more of that tippy toe, that half point. So you can have your feet a little bit further apart and you're going to lean into it. As you lean into it, you want to press forward into that arch, and that will stretch you. You can do this facing the wall too. Maybe it's better to have a little more balance because you're thinking about the stretch here, not so much about keeping your balance. And changing feet, pressing on that half point, and pressing into it. Let's do one more on foot. And that early morning foot stretch. Good job, so quads. I've got something to hang on to today. That's nice. I'll keep my balance. you feel different stretch with each of those. Moving the quad area, that upper thigh. And then the other leg, we're going to first stretch it out where we are, and then we're going to move it around to get a bit of a different stretch. So, moving forward, and moving it back, and moving it forwards, and moving it back, and okay, shaking it out a little bit. We are getting closer to the dancing part, which is what we're here for. All right, let's do a little forward stretch and get that ready to go. So we're going to start with a flat back. So just making a little hinge here and leaning forward. Have a nice wide position here. It's the morning. And you're going to get as far as you can go without anything bending. And then we're going to relax our back over. Then we're bending our knees in that relaxed position, and then we're going to try and straighten out again, but with keeping our body as close as we can to our legs. We're going to do the same thing again. So bending your knees, relaxing your body, and as you straighten, try and keep it close to your legs. And once more, close as you can to your legs, keep it there, keep it there. And relax, roll it up. Okay, let's finish with one of my favorites, which is kind of an open position, toes are a little bit outwards. Hands are coming right above your knees, and then you're going to press one shoulder forward, and you're going to feel a couple different stretches, your shoulder and your hip. And the other side. Yay, okay, so, yes, music device elsewhere, but we're still going to dance, we're still going to do a merengue. So for those of you who have not done merengue before, it's just walking foot to foot, from foot to foot, and you can do it all on your own, you can do it with a partner, you can do it walking around, backwards and rotating, and doing all kinds of things. We've been working on some arms, we've been working on just going forward and back. We've been doing an exercise where keeping the feet moving. We started to rotate, but we've left one leg behind. So everything else is rotating and then coming back. And same with the other leg. The whole body starts to turn, but this one is left behind. And that's in preparation for our stepping turn, which we're going to be doing later on, so that our whole body turns. So if you're not like a pivoter, even if you are, that's a very good turn for Latin social dance. And that's why we've been doing that. And we've been doing arms, so we're going to be doing some arms today, but first, as we did in the first one, we've done an exercise that I call our zombie walk. So we've been putting in one side and then the other side, moving by moving one whole side of our body and then the other. And you know, we've also talked about shifting our weights, so having the square, shifting it from foot to foot. So when we're doing that zombie walk, what we're doing is we're taking one whole side of our body and putting our weight right over that leg, right? And then we're doing it with the other one. Because normally when we walk, we're in a position, arms are kind of swinging, but in a lot of Latin dances, you're bringing your weight right over your leg. So instead of putting it down and having a shift, your weight's going right over it. And so this exercise, we're going to do the zombie walk, put our weight right over that leg, and then we're going to relax and bring the other one in. And zombie walk, weight goes right over it, so you're over the leg you're stepping on, and then you're going to relax, bring the other one in. Zombie, and relaxed in, and zombie, relax the other leg in. Now, that way, so zombie walk, all your weight goes over it, relax it in. Zombie, weight goes over your leg, bring the other one in. Zombie, weight goes over your leg, bring the other one in. Zombie, weight over your leg, bring the other one in. So that's just an exercise because when we start stepping, we're going to try and make our stepping a little bit fancier. So we're going to be putting all of our weight on one leg and then the other. And it feels a little bit unnatural at first, a little counterintuitive, but that's the style we're doing. So it will be using the same later on when we're learning our bachata, learning our salsa. We'll be shifting our weight right over our legs instead of having that back to front movements, because that helps us move a little quicker, and it also gives it that style that we want to have. So let's just, since we don't have the music, we're going to have to just have imaginary music, imaginary walls, imaginary music, and just keep your feet moving. Let's just practice those arms. If you remember, we had the one where we brought one arm up, and we drop down the lower arm. And then the elbow drops down so we can reach your body and slide down your hand. It comes off a little bit like here, like you're gathering momentum as you're sliding it. It's a little bit off your body. And then lifting the other one. Legs are going all the time. And then dropping it down. So you come up here, a little less straight, and it's your lower arm that's dropping down to your head. That one comes in. And then that elbow is going to drop. So you can reach your body, and remember you're going to do a little, so it comes off just a tiny bit to the side. And put our hands on our hips too, so we brought them to the side. And here we want to keep our elbows forward, as we bring hands to our hips. Remember, always keeping those, push those elbows forward whenever they're on your hip or your waist. Even if they're a little higher, yeah, they can be a little higher too. Maybe because you're wearing, clothing that you want it a little higher. It's just a style thing. Maybe it's more you. Maybe up here. Elbows always moving forward, but only when they're on your hips. If they're up here, if you're turning, keep them in, because you've got people all over the place if you're social dancing, and you don't want to elbow anybody. Although usually people are pretty understanding, things do happen. Still, you don't want to do too much of that. All right, and we brought our arms up, and we brought our arms down, and up, and down. And this time, as we bring them up, just like one of the first exercises we did, we're going to open up our fingers, stretch our fingers nice and wide, just before we bring them up. Keep them there. Coming back down, and relax them again, and then we're going to ball them up. And as we open them, we're going to start moving upwards. Boom. So you get that little presentation going. One last one. And balling them up and getting ready, and opening and going up. And this is something we like to do too, just to say, hey, this is for you. All right, my Fairflies, thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see you. I'm sorry I'm not responding to your comments. Are you sick this morning? But it's wonderful to see you. So happy that we have this community, that we're all doing this together, and continuing our dancing, stretching, exercising journey. So my Fairflies, we are going to get that choreography workshop posted today. We had a couple of editing issues, and hope you'll join us for that. And we'll have a more. We're gonna do also like a beginner choreography to different music separately. So if this one is a little bit much, then you can tune in for that one. But the music to this one is great. It's Staying Alive by a group called Common Ground, and they've just got a really nice sound. So hope you join us. Love to you all, Third Flies. Have a wonderful day.